Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Max. So let's talk about this thing, man. Our children are going into a brand new school year, and this school year is going to be a little bit different because they're absent part of the curriculum that has always been a part of the educational system. And so, how are our children going to be deprived of these things and they still say with a daggone confidence that they're getting a quality education whenever the true history of this country is being erased and replaced with nothing? That's the question that I have, because whenever you erase critical race theory from the school curriculum, you're not only erasing Black history, you're erasing Native American history, you're erasing the Irish American history, you're erasing all of those things that the white America don't want to be seen in a bad light from. They want to try to get rid of that. They want to continue to perpetuate these lies about Christopher Columbus and the Boston Tea Party and all of that bull stuff that they made up to make themselves look good and to always make themselves to be the hero, which the conqueror of a land is always going to make themselves come out to look good in the end, and everybody else have to sit back knowing that these lies are being pushed to our children, and our children think that they're being properly educated. So now we're going to have to get more interactive with our children's education and make sure that those blank spots that they're then going to ban in from schools is filled in by us. We have to take it upon ourselves to properly educate our children, because the school system has made it very clear that they are not going to properly educate our children. Now, when I was in school, I was blessed with the opportunity. My parents, they bought this whole series of books that taught real history, that taught the true history. And I spoke about this before. So when I did my reports for school, they came out of books that the school wasn't privy to, that wasn't in the school library. And these books gave the real truth of the matter. And so the facts that I brought forth whenever I did my reports had my teachers asking me questions as if I was the teacher and they was the student, because they was getting schooled on a whole new level of information that had been purposely left out of our school curriculum. And this was back in the 80s. And so I know the school curriculum that they have now has totally been whitewashed so that they can brainwash and they can add on, what's the word I'm looking for? What do they always do? They colonize everywhere they go. And colonization, one of the first things that they do is they take away your identity and replace it with theirs. And so this is what we're contending with on a much larger scale now, because they've let it be known they're no longer doing these back closet deals and these under the table deals. They doing it right in our face now, and they telling us, no, we don't want your children to know the truth. We're going to continue to force feed your children these lies. And if they don't regurgitate these lies and hold these lies in their memory to get these credentials from us, then they're going to be left behind. So there's only one choice for our children in this spectrum: believe the lies, take the lies and regurgitate the lies, or be left behind as somebody who's not educated because you don't want to accept the lie. So we got to combat this, y'all. I got grandbabies. All of my children are grown and they're out of school, and they have this understanding because I planted it in their minds to question everything and to not just believe what somebody is telling them. And so now I got grandchildren who are coming up now, and my kids are going to implant that same knowledge and that same mindset into them so that they won't be led astray by this country who wants everybody to believe this little neatly wrapped story that they've packaged in a little deal to make themselves look like heroines, to make themselves always stand up top, when really they are the enemy, when really they are the oppressor, when really they are the ones who will set this system in place to keep themselves at a certain level and to keep other people below them and beneath them. They don't want anybody to get this mindset, because they understand that when people see the bull crap that they've been doing, there's gonna be some pushback on it, and there's gonna be some questioning. Anytime I raise my hand and I let those teachers know that what they were saying was not historically correct, I was always considered to be a trouble starter. I was always considered to be that kid who just wanted to make things difficult, because I wasn't willing to believe the lies that they was trying to force upon me whenever I had the true knowledge. And so here we stand. We're in a place in the United States where they've shown us that if it ain't white, it ain't right. That's the mentality that they have. That's the mentality that they're pushing on our children. And we have to fight that. And like I said, it's not just our black children. You can recall that they used to kidnap the Native American children and westernize them, colonize them, take away their heritage, strip them of all of their heritage and everything that they knew that was placed in them by their people, and stuck Christianity in them and their form of Christianity. Their morals, their values, their haircuts, had them in their clothes to whitewash the Native American people. And so now when you see Native American people, they look more like white people than they do their own original people, because that's the plan. To come in, to infiltrate, to whitewash their heritage, and to give them a new identity so that they don't know who they truly are, and that they'll continue to serve the people who came and took their land from them. This is the goal. This is the intent. And anybody who brings up any remembrance of the true history of what really happened, they're going to try to talk. They're going to try to overshadow them. They're going to try to overtalk them and drown them out and push them out of the way, so that nobody understands or listens to what these people are saying. So yeah, we got to fight on our hands for the rest of our lives in this country. As long as you are in the United States, you are always going to have to fight against this false history that they're pushing on our children through this school system and this bogus curriculum. It's going to be a hard task, but this is something that we have to be steadfast about this. We have to stand firm on this, and we cannot back down on this, because the more we do, the more our children are going to lose their heritage. We are in a struggle right now to regain our heritage and to introduce to our people what our true heritage is. That's why you got these kids out here lost in this drill movement and murdering each other by the pounds, because they don't understand who they truly are. If they really knew who they were, if they really knew what their heritage and their background and their lineage is, if they knew what was running through their veins, the bloodline and the royalty that was running through their veins, they would not act the way that they do. And as long as America continue to wash that away and put in place of that all of this bull crap, then our kids are going to continue to lose who they are and gravitate towards the identity that America sets before them. And it ain't nothing but destruction and mayhem. That's all they want our children to be involved with, because if we ever get any inkling of an idea of who we truly are, it's going to be bad for them, and they know it. They know it at every turn. So at every turn, they are going to try to whitewash everything for our children. Everything. Any and everything that comes forth in the United States. And you know it to be true. It's absolutely 100% truth. And this is what we have to get our kids to understand. These kids that's running around with these Glocks in their belt, if they understand what the purpose of those Glocks in those industries was, they wouldn't even have that stuff. I spend a lot of hours on here just dropping information. It don't matter how many people see it. It just matters that people see it and somebody takes it forth. Somebody repeats it to somebody else, and somebody repeats it to somebody else, because at some point it's gonna spark the interest of somebody, and they're gonna go down that rabbit hole, and they're gonna begin to see what's taking place. That's the whole entire purpose for my show, my podcast, me even using the energy to get on here and speak about anything, because our people are in a great situation of just losing everything that we've ever been. It took stories like Roots and stories like Shaka Zulu, things like that, to give us a visual of what our people really had to endure, and what our people really had to go through, and what our people was doing before these people came to our land with their bull crap and manipulated and cheated and all of the things that they did to gain control in our land, in our nation, where our heritage comes from. But they did that because they were persistent and they didn't stop. And we got so caught up in fighting against each other and worrying about what the other black man is doing, that we allowed this to take place. And that's why I take so much conviction whenever you have people who will come on with the silly ass shit that they be talking about that don't have nothing to do with the furtherance of our people. I talk a lot about how strong we are as a people, man, or how strong we were as a people before we were colonized and before we lost our heritage and our identity. My parents blessed me with my identity and the name that they gave me, Kunta Kinte, and I've never been able to step away from my identity and what my name represents. I have a constant reminder of who I truly am, and I thank them. Oh my God, I thank them to this day for doing that. There's nothing better that they could have done for my entire life. There's no amount of money. There's no nice house. There's no sports car or none of this material bull crap that they consider success in the United States that my parents could have gave me that would have been more beneficial in my life than the name that they gave me, because it's a constant reminder of who I really am. I'll never be Zach or Brad or any of this whitewashed crap that we've accepted and taken on as our identity as a people. I'm always going to be Kunta Kinte, and there's nothing that they can do or say about it. They scared of that name. That name makes them feel uncomfortable when I speak it in their presence, because they know what it means and they know what it represents. And it's a direct stand against this whitewash bullshit that they are teaching our children. Whenever a child hears my name, what does your name mean? And now I got an opportunity to school this child on our heritage. Now I got an opportunity to go against that bullcrap curriculum that they've been force feeding our children for all these years. I'm so thankful for my name. My name in itself is a threat to them, let alone the knowledge that I carry in my mind about this. And so Black people, we have a big job ahead of us. I understand this is going to take time. It's going to take us stopping what we're doing, because there's nothing more important than this right now. And we have to be able to see that there is nothing more important than us getting our identity back as a people. We've been through so many different things. And I tell people all the time, what we are experiencing and what we're going through now as a Black culture is absolutely not our culture. This is borrowed shit from the United States. Everything that we consider Black culture is not Black culture. It's not. It's not. Hip hop right now, the state that it's in, that absolutely is not Black culture. We were at one point when we had Black culture on lock in hip hop, but they decided to bring in a new system. They decided to get rid of groups like Public Enemy. They decided to get rid of groups like It's so many poor righteous teachers and all of those groups who spoke the knowledge. Brand Nubian, they got rid of groups like that, and they brought in the groups who just continued this same bull crap, this whitewashed bull crap that took us further and further away from our heritage. And now you look at hip hop, there's absolutely nothing black about hip hop. Everything that's in hip hop right now is the destructive nature of the people who brought us here. That's what hip hop is now. And they love it because they seeing us die by the daggone, die by droves. Our children are dying in waves on a constant basis. Every day you turn on the news, you see another young black man, another in each state. And it's not just one per day, no, one per state each day. That's how many is dying, because we have lost sight of our true heritage and our true nature as a people. Our nature isn't to hurt each other and to destroy each other in that way. That's not our nature, but they replaced our nature with their bullshit. Yeah, that's the real. That's what we really here talking about. That's what we really got to take mental note of. I'm spend so much time on this because, like I said, the school year is starting back. CRT has been banned from the curriculum, and so now I have a question. During Black History Month, what are they going to talk about? What could they possibly talk about with critical race theory being banned in school during Black History Month? They gave you a whole, even though it's the shortest month of the damn year, but they still gave you a Black History Month. So what the hell would they ever be able to talk about when critical race theory has been banned? And critical race theory is exactly what Black History Month is about. Dispelling those lies that have been told all this time about who are the true inventors of certain things, who are the first innovators of a lot of stuff. That's what Black History Month mainly consists of, debunking all of these lies that have been told to put somebody else or give somebody else the credit for what we've done to build this country. So what are they going to talk about during Black History Month? There's nothing to be said. So this whole idea of canceling critical race theory, or banning critical race theory, is so idiotic within itself. You see what the mindset of these people are. They're incompetent in every facet of this country. They've shown their incompetence in government and dealing with the people. They're showing their incompetence in educating the people, because they don't want to educate, they want to indoctrinate. Those are two totally different things. Indoctrination is them implanting their narrative into people, whereas the education is giving you the true information and letting you make a decision on your own. Giving you enough information for you to make an educated decision on your own. But they don't want to do that. They want to control everything. They want to control what you think. They want to control what you think you know, and everything. So we got to combat, we got to combat this, people. We got to combat this. There's no way around it. Either that, or we're going to sit back and let our children become even more lost than what they already are. And then whenever you try to speak something into their life and impart something into their life, they're going to believe that book work and all of that book bullshit history over anything you have to say to them. So you better get started now and lay your groundwork in these children now. And there's going to come times when they're in school, and what the teacher is going to be telling them, especially in history class, is going to go against what you've been teaching them at home. And you're going to have the integrity to stand with your child on the truth and let them know that we are privy to the bullshit that they're doing as far as whitewashing the history of this country. And we're not going to allow them to indoctrinate our children with that shit. You're gonna have to stand on that. That means you're gonna have to go up to that school and you're gonna have to stand in them teachers' face, and you're gonna have to stand in front of the school board and let them know that you do not approve of this bullshit whitewashing of the education in the United States of America. It's time for us to stand up on something. We always talking about standing up for something. First and foremost, we got to stand up for our children's right to be properly educated. And if you can't do that, then you need to sit back and shut your mouth, because all of that other shit that you talking about is not gonna damn matter at all. It's not gonna matter at all. Because if they don't follow that line of the lies and the indoctrination, then they're gonna be considered a troublemaker. They're gonna be considered somebody who can't learn. And all of those negative ass tags that they want to put on our children to keep them in a state of them of unknowing. That's what it comes down to. So what are you willing to do to make sure that your child is properly educated? What are you willing to do to make sure that this country know that you understand their system and their intent? That's on you, man. I know what I'm willing to do, and I know what I've been doing, and I'm going to continue doing it for the for as long as I have breath in my body. I'm going to continue to speak the truth and debunk all of these bullshit lies in these history books. These libraries are full of books filled with lies, filled with them all across the country. Now that shit's been put on the internet, and it's full of all of this bogus information. So you have to be able to decipher the truth and separate it from all of this fiction, because that's the thing. Now they can't stop you from looking on these devices and finding information, but what they can do is flood the system with so much conflicting information that you don't know what to believe. But we know what to believe, us who come from the old school, who know where the truth was hidden and know the difference between the truth and the bullshit that they putting out there to try to then flood the system and keep people confused. We know the difference, and so we have to show our children how to separate and how to differentiate between the two. There's indoctrination and there's education. What do you want your child to have? Yo, this is your boy D-Mac, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.